everyone, and welcome to our Touch Base Thursday for September 1st. How did we get into September so fast? I feel like here in Michigan anyway, we already have fall temperatures coming in at night. So it's been feeling quite chilly as the nights come down. So anyway, if you are joining me, please comment and tell me hello. And I'm just going to, hi Carol, wait till I have a few of you live with me, and then we're going to go ahead and get started here. So as most of you know, I was gone last week. I went to New Orleans for the Stampin Up backstage event, and it was a lot of fun. It was so amazing to see so many of my demonstrator friends who I have not seen in, since prior to the beginning of the pandemic. I think my last time seeing them was in 2019. So there was lots of hugs going on and lots of tears as everybody was getting together. But it was a leadership event, and so I came back feeling rejuvenated with some new ideas and goals and a few changes you'll see implemented in my business. So excited for all of the new things that I'm going to be doing and sharing with you all. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed your little video last week. I only had time to make the 4 cards and had to get that posted for you before I left. But I hope that you enjoyed that video. That paper was so cute. So a little bit of a recap. I showcased the Santa's Express paper last week and really made some quick and simple, easy cards with that. So anyway, I know it's not the same as me being live with you all, but it's at least a video to keep you inspired and sharing projects. Hi to Shireen and Joanne, Janet, a few of you more coming on as you are joining me here. So anyway, a few things in the way of announcements. Both girls are now officially back in school. Natalie started her classes this week. And so she already had to drop one and add one because she's kind of changed her mind on what she wants to go to college for. Originally, she wanted to do dietetics and was looking at the registered dietitian road. And she has since changed that. And she is now going to be going down the speech pathology communications road and with a minor in American Sign Language. She's loving her sign language class. So, oh, Carol, you're missing my flower in my hair. I know I used to wear them all the time, and I haven't been. I haven't been wearing my hair down. That's part of the problem. I need it cut. It is way too long and bulky, so I'm struggling with it down because it's just too long. And then I'll go back to wearing those, Carol. So, summertime, my hair just goes up. It's been pretty quick and easy. But anyway, so that is what Natalie has found out. They were doing some exploratory classes, and she just realized that nutrition isn't really what she wants to do. So loving her communication disorder classes so far and feels that it's a much better fit for her. So anyway, that's where she's at, and her first week of classes is under her belt. And so we'll have to see. She's still working her, I think it's like 16 hours a week at the CMU, our Connect Cellular program. And so she's between classes and that, she's on campus pretty much the entire duration of her day. So one good thing that I'm excited about, though, is she has a break on Tuesdays and Thursdays from like 12:30 to 2. And so she's thinking about just coming to my office and hanging out with me, bringing her lunch, and we can eat lunch together. And so I'll actually be able to get to see my daughter because I haven't seen much of her all week, which is good. I told her, I said, as you're in college now, I'm going to let you kind of do your own thing. And so that's what she's doing. And then, of course, Claire started last week, and this is her second week, and she's already in the swing of things and got her calendar and her system all down pat already. So anyway, I have lots of goodies to share with you this week because I'm going to be, there's 2 weeks of goodies I'm giving away. So if you shared my video from 2 weeks ago when I was live with you last, it was my Lights Aglow class, or my Lights Aglow bundle that I featured. And I mentioned on that Facebook Live that I was going to be giving away 2 bolts of ribbon. It was the white ribbon. And I do have winners for this ribbon. So the winner of the crinkle white ribbon is Nancy Snowblin. So congratulations to Nancy. And then the winner of the white, this is the 3/4 inch white ribbon, is Mary Clark. So congratulations to Mary and to Nancy. I know, Janet, I'm looking forward to actually being able to have lunch with her. I told her, even if we just pack it, I take it to work and put it in the refrigerator, she can just walk on over because she's only in a couple buildings away. So it'll be fun. And then if you shared on the YouTube video, if you commented on my YouTube video or shared that when I posted it to Facebook, you got your name in a drawing as well. And for that one, I chose rhinestones and pearls, because who cannot use rhinestones and pearls? We all can use those, right? And so the winner of the rhinestones is Maureen Preston. So congratulations to Maureen. I will get those in the mail to you, my dear. And then the winner of the pearls is Gail Heisler. So congratulations to Gail and to Maureen. So I'll be getting lots of little goodies out in the next few days here. Okay, up for grabs this week. You guys ready? Because I'm completely changing what I'm giving you guys this week. Decided to do something a little different because who can't use these? Because I'm sure you're gonna be coloring a lot and you're gonna be running out of them. But I'm giving away some blends. 2 sets of blends. I have in front of me the Fresh Freesia and the Cherry Cobbler. So I changed it up. Next week I'll be giving those away. 2 lucky winners. Again, all you need to do is share my video and 2 lucky winners will receive these blends instead of an embellishment. Yay, right? Okay, so that's what I have for that. As most of you know, I was gone last week, so I have been playing catch up. My September classes are not officially open yet, but I can tell you what they are. What I'm going to be focusing on tonight, I'm calling it my last chance of summer. Thank you, Philomena. I'm calling it my last chance of summer. It's going to be my last summer-themed Facebook Live, and then I'm going to be transitioning it into fall. Got a lot of fall things lined up to share with you. I think I've got 2 or 3 classes already lined up. But the butterfly class you're going to be seeing is an option for purchase the month of September. I have a class using the Bewitched bundle. So the Bewitched is if you are familiar with our holiday catalog, it is the stamp set and the coordinating hat punch for Halloween. And then I have Boughs of Holly, and those Christmas cards are gorgeous. So those are going to be my 3, what I call my regular classes, my club classes. And then I'll be doing special, I call them kind of like a special stamp set product class using the soft seedling bundle or stamp set, which is that beautiful leaf one, and my wheat. I'll be doing some wheat cards. So oh, Peggy, you found me, yay! So a little bit of history with the wheat cards and why I chose to use that wheat bundle. I think it's called Harvest Wheat or something like that. And I know some people are like, what? You use that for a fall class? But when my dad passed away 14 years ago, and he knew he was terminal, he always kept saying, don't get me flowers. Don't buy flowers. They just die. Don't worry about flowers on my casket. Well, of course, we still put flowers on the casket. But when my mom told the funeral director about my dad and his flowers, he's like, well, you know what? Why don't we put a great big spray of wheat in there? I grew up on a small dairy farm, and my dad actually used to grow wheat and harvest wheat. And so, long story short, on his casket with some flowers around it was a great big sheath of wheat. And so when that stamp set came out, it has a little bit of a personal touch for me. And so I have to do a class with it. And then I got playing with it, and I'm like, oh, this is a little bit harder to work with than I thought. But I cannot wait for you guys to see the cards. They turned out gorgeous and something completely different for the fall. So I hope that you like those. Okay, so that is my upcoming classes. So be on the lookout for them. I do currently have my online fun party online bingo is open for September 21st. So if you are interested in that, I know some of my regulars have already signed up for that. So thank you. Looking forward to it. And then as you guys know, celebration's over. Boo-hoo! Yesterday was the end of celebration. However, there's 2 different promotions that I want to just at least talk about here tonight. One is weekly deals. So how many of you remember years ago when Stampin' Up used to do weekly deals on Tuesdays? It was just on Tuesday, and usually it was just like 4 or 5 products. Well, they're coming out with weekly deals for the month of September, and the week begins, and they're going to be week-long deals. And there's like 12 products that posted today. So they begin on Thursday and continue through that next Wednesday at midnight. Then every Thursday, more products will come out at discounted prices. So I did post today on my Facebook page the products that are available. I also included my September order link. And you guys are going to be proud to know, I got to tell Carol she's going to be proud of me, because I do have my host code ready for September. So I'm slowly playing catch up. I'm getting there. But anyway, but yeah, so weekly deals are a thing for the month of September. And then perfect partners. So, and this is also coming out in my newsletter that will go out tomorrow. So if you have not subscribed to my email list, make sure you look in the description of the video. Carol, you're cute. And you will see the link to join my mailing list. It's literally you add your name and email address and say sign up, and you're into my email list. That's where all things come out, usually on Fridays. I was doing 2 emails a week, but I need to reevaluate my marketing there on that. But anyway, right now one comes out every Friday. You get free tutorials with cards that have been created, and then tutorials that are actually typed up for you to duplicate those cards. And you get to know all things Stampin' Up related, all things Kim Vogel, Basement Bunch Stampers related. So lots of information comes out in those weekly emails. So please make sure that you've signed up if you haven't done so yet. But the perfect partners, there are 6 stamp sets that Stampin' Up has come out with dies for. One is the Yeti stamp set, another one is the Birthday Piggies, a flower one. So there's a few of them that now have dies to go with them. So make sure that you check that out. And I'll be posting about that as well. And those dies are only available the month of September. So if they're dies that you want with a stamp set that maybe you already have, or now you're like, oh, since there's dies, I want the bundle, now's the time to get it. Only through September. I think it's through September or while supplies last. So I wouldn't wait if there's ones that you want, because they might be gone and sold out before the end of the month. Okay, so with that, I am ready to share with you guys what I'm calling my end of summer cards, because this is all I've got for summer related classes and summer related projects that I've been working on, and then I'll be transitioning into some fall ones starting next week. So I'm thinking I'm going to be doing a Halloween stuff next week. Maybe, I'm not sure. If I can get all of my soft seedling projects designed, maybe I'll surprise you with that. So anyway, with that, I'm going to transition my camera down to my stamp area so you guys can see the products that we're going to be using. And these are available in the annual catalog. So I took it back to the annual catalog tonight. And then next week, we'll be going back into our holiday catalog. All right, so with that, I'm going to transition the camera down and let's get started. Okay, so let me just move this down, unplug my little camera here, my my external speaker. I have to have on when you guys, and I'm talking to you the other way. All right, and I got to turn my computer so I can see all of your wonderful comments, and then we're ready to go ahead and get started. Okay, so let me see here. All right, so how about them? Aren't they nice and bright? And I'm zoomed right in again, so I'm really excited about that. All right, now I did not have time to make a 3D project tonight. I'm really sorry. So as most of you know, when you are gone to a Stampin' Up event, there is no time to work on anything else because you're talking to everybody else. So I didn't have time to get a lot of my normal stuff done that I do in the weekends. So it's been called playing catch up time this week, but I'm getting there slowly but surely. All right, so this is the bundle I'm going to be focusing on tonight, okay? This is the Butterfly Kisses, and it's really, really cute and trendy and fun. Now, these are cards. Some of you might be saying, okay, I like the whole concept, but the sayings are not really ones that I would use. Like, you're my bestie, probably one that some of you may not use. However, my daughters would definitely use that, you know. So glad you exist, sending good vibes. That's all trendy with what the young population says. Keep in mind, you can incorporate your own sayings into these cards. So you don't have to just look at it and go, oh, I don't like, well, I like all the love. And go, oh, I don't like all of those sayings. You can incorporate other ones instead. What I like about it is you can mix and match the butterflies with the different dies, and I'll show you that here in just a second. And then you have this Coordinating Designer Series paper, which you're going to see as well. And then you're going to see these beautiful fun flower resin shapes that I'm going to use. So let me start with the bundle. Oh, and I closed it and didn't even tell you guys the price of that bundle. So, well, now I don't know where it is. So we may have to look for it again later. But here's the bundle. It's called Best Butterflies, okay? Best Butterflies. And you can see you have lots of different stamping that you can do on there. And then the dies coordinate to cut all of that out. Okay, so these will coordinate to cut all. I need to get my magnetic sheets out for these again. I used to, and then I got out of the habit. But you can see here, you've got all these different pieces. Now, here's what's neat about this. So you can have, yeah, I'll show you that with this one right here. So you can cut out the actual solid. Thank you, Philomena. So I went in there and told my nail tech I was going to New Orleans and to do whatever, and that's what he did. And I like the two that he did kind of ombre. Can you see those two? They're like ombre, and then he put the little trees on them. I love it. So what you can do with this is you can actually cut this out and have it be the wings and have it just be a solid piece, or you could incorporate the little piece in the middle and have it get cut out and textured, or, you know, have the little things cut out of it. So there are so many different things that you can do with this, and you just got to kind of play with it to see how they all come together. And then here's your little body of your butterfly. You have a big one and a little one, so you can make bigger butterflies or smaller butterflies. But it's really, 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 really cute. I love it. Okay. Whoops. Then, whoops, I got to put it back in there because I can't have them all be lost. So then you have the designer series paper. It is 6 by 6, and I have a few of the patterns out so that you can see these here. So here are some of the patterns of the designer series paper. Now what I like about these is this right here, you can actually cut those out yourself. I fussy cut them, and then have just butterflies that you don't have to color or cut out or anything, okay? So, and then on the back, this is just a little subset of the paper. The paper is a huge pack. And the colors in here are Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Fresh Freesia, Parakeet Party, and Starry Sky. So those are your colors. And then on the other side, you can see you have some in here that are more of just your solids, again, to give you that kind of coordination of having a pattern with a solid if you wanted to. Okay, so I'm going to show you how easy it is to use this product here in just a little bit. I do have a host code set up tonight. I know you guys are proud of me. Give me some claps and some hearts, because I would not have remembered to do this if Kay didn't remind me before when her and I were talking earlier today. She says, oh, don't forget to print out your host code. And I went, yeah, I need to do that. So anyway, so there it is. Anybody who puts in a minimum $30 order, you'll receive 3 of the cards I'm featuring tonight, already done, put together. You just go to my website at kimsbasementbunch.com. Look at all the hearts and stuff. I love it. And then you enter in this host code. Now there's also a spot there right on my website where I've already updated the host code as well. So it's also out there for you to find very easily too. Okay. And it works, because sometimes I forget to update it and you guys go to try to put an order in, and then you'll message me and say your host code's not working. And I'm like, shucks, I forgot to update it. Not going to happen this month. Go me. Okay. And then the products that I chose to use with it is the coordinating embellishments. So these are the fun flower resin shapes. You can see I've used a few of them on my cards that I have that we're going to make tonight. And they come in the colors that are in that designer series paper. And then I'm going to also be using the white crinkle ribbon, which I believe it was Nancy who won this ribbon tonight. I'm using this ribbon on my cards as well. So I'm going to open my fresh pack of that up, and so we have it ready to be used. Okay, so I'm just going to move this to the side. I'll bring it back down later in case anybody of you still need that. But let's go ahead and get started. And again, you're going to kind of see how I used the cards in different, or the bundle in different ways to incorporate different things, okay? So this one, I wanted to showcase one of the dies, just the single die. So there is no stamping, no coloring, no anything on that. It's just the die. So you can get a really quick and simple, easy card using just the dies that come in that set. So for this one, I used Fresh Freesia for my card base. So I'm just going to fold that in half. And then I used a piece of Calypso Coral, and I used the Clouds embossing folder, and you can see that I've embossed that. And this is 5 1/4 by 4. And this one I did not use any of the, ribbon on it. So I'm just going to adhere this down. to my fresh freesia. And when I first started making this card, I wasn't sure I liked these two colors together. But the more I kept going, the more I really liked it. I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool. All right, so here I just used some of the simple scraps left over from making these cards. Thank you, Philomena. I thought they went together really well too once I got the card completed. And then I just stuck in some of these little pieces underneath of here. So what I did is I kind of went like that, okay, and just kind of adhered them down. But that's the neat thing with this paper. It's so pretty. So let's start with adding these two little pieces first, and then we're going to add, and I actually used a different piece here. Can you see that? It's similar, but it's different. Yeah, that's the neat thing with this paper. If you run out of one, you can find something else that you can use that will work just as well. So I'm going to add this one down here, and then we're just going to pretend that we're going to add this one along here, and then we're going to kind of know where to glue this one. So kind of have that in my mind where that one needs to go. So I'm just going to add some adhesive along there, and then this one is going to go, and if not, you can always just, I'm going to put it side by side, and then I'll know. There we go. Okay, and then I put, I know, no ribbon on this one, Courtney. I know. That's just gonna go, and this one I cut all the way to the end. So this one is cut at 5 1/4, so that way, or 5 1/2. So it goes all the way to the end of the card base. Okay, let me move this over a little bit so you guys can see better. So this one I'm just going to adhere down into the middle, like this. So I would love to know, oops, then I don't do it all the way to the end. I'd love to know what you guys want to see me feature on some certain products or something. So, you know, I'm looking at doing fall things. I've got, it's 2 classes that I have designed and a 3rd one started. So I would love to know if there's any specific bundles or things that you guys like out of the catalog. And if I have them, I will definitely feature them for the fall projects. So I'm really thinking about taking September and doing nothing but, fall stuff and having it kind of be my 4 weeks of fall. It's kind of what I'm thinking about calling it. So please in the comments, let me know if there's something specific. Like I said, I may not get to them all depending on how many of you comment, but I would definitely like to see your input on what you guys want to see. So the soft seedling one that I'm going to be showcasing is going to include some techniques of different things that you can do with stamping the leaves. So I'm really excited about showing you guys that one. But yeah, I would love to know what you guys would like to do and see on that. Then here you have the So Glad You Exist one that I did. So these are cards that I can envision my girls giving to their friends. I used the sayings that are in the stamp set because again, I wanted to kind of show you guys how cool that is. But again, you can use different ones. This could be a birthday card. You can just go to your stash of stamp sets and look for a birthday or a thinking of you or anything like that. And you could change this up to be whatever suits your fancy and not have to use the ones that are with the, and if you really like the cards that I'm showcasing with just the dies, you could get by with just buying the dies as well. Because you'll see on another card, I use this one right here. So you don't necessarily have to even buy the stamp set if you are just content with the dies, using them on your cards. So again, lots of versatility here. I know some of you have made the comment to me on this one that you didn't like the sayings, and I get it. Totally get it. So I'm just going to add the butterfly up here like that. How pretty. And then we're going to add some of our little flowers. So for this one I used the fresh freesia, and so I'm just going to, I'm going to get a little bit of putty out of there. Here we go. I'm just going to put one here, and then I put a couple of the little ones on the butterfly piece right here. So you can kind of add them wherever you'd like. But there you go. Isn't that cool? I know, Peggy, I wasn't too sure about this at all until I started playing with it. And like I said, if you're not into the stamp set, you can just get those dies, and the dies will do, I mean, that's, you know, adding something else down here. The paper and the dies are gorgeous. And like I said, this is my end of the summer project, so they're still going to be very bright and vibrant themed because that's kind of what I'm working with. All right. So next up we have this one right here. And again, you can see I just used the die on this. Now this one is using lots of designer series paper. The only cardstock on this card is the card base, which is the Parakeet Party, and then the layer, which is Fresh Freesia. All of these are just designer series paper. Again, one little simple stamp thing down there on the bottom. Quick, simple. Courtney, I used ribbon on here. I know you can hardly see it, but I did use ribbon on that one. So for this one, I again used the Parakeet Party for the card base. Bright, 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 but it's so pretty. Thank you, Courtney. And then we're gonna actually put this to the side because I had to layer this piece up first. So we're gonna have some cardstock that's gonna go on here, designer series paper. And again, you could use other sides if you wanted to. So I chose to use the Fresh Freesia part on the very top up here. Thanks, everyone. You guys are so awesome. But this paper, you get so much designer series paper in this pack that I'm like, I'm using it, man. I'm just gonna use it up. Why use cardstock? So anyway, I used paper. And I kind of like the look that that Starry Sky piece gave me around the back with the triangles. Can you see that down here? I really like the look of that. Thought it turned out really, really cool. Okay, and then we're gonna add the ribbon in the middle. So yes, I could color the ribbon to make it pop with the blend. Absolutely. That would just take time. You guys, I'm laughing at myself. But yeah, you could color that with your Fresh Freesia. If you did your Fresh Freesia markers, you could use your Calypso Coral. You could color that ribbon any color that you want with your Stampin' Blends. And remember, I'm giving away those Fresh Freesia ones to somebody next week. So yeah, the two colors that I picked out of my stash that I had is Fresh Freesia and the Cherry Cobbler. So those are the ones that will be given away next week. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this down to my card base since I have the ribbon on there and the ribbon going through the center. And then I just layered this again with the designer series paper. So you can see, here's my two pieces. But look at how awesome that little bit of the triangles look behind there. Isn't that cool? I love it. I think it's so, so cool. Okay, so I'm going to adhere these two together. And then that's gonna go down with some dimensionals on the back of this. So we're just gonna put dimensionals on the four corners here. And these pieces I think are 2.5 by 2.5 and 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Again, just a quarter size different for that. And then that's just gonna go up here like that. Again, just a simple cutout, so you wouldn't even need to have the stamp set for this. And then for the dimensionals, I'm going to use the ends. So if you have mini dimensionals, those will work. I usually just cut up my ends for doing long, skinny areas. So I'm going to put a dimensional here. Oops, if I can get it off here. One of the little strips. So I might be struggling with these nails tonight. So true story. I left my nails a little bit longer than I normally do. If you haven't, some of you may have noticed that. Normally I have them a lot shorter. But when I went and got my nails done last week, like the day before I left to go on my trip, no, I got them done that morning before I left. We left on Wednesday night to head to the airport. But I said to my nail tech, I'm like, I'm not gonna have you take any length off because I'm gonna leave them a little bit longer for my trip. And now I'm thinking I may need to go find a nail file and file them down because I'm not used to them being, I know they're not long, but these are long for me to be doing my designing and my crafting. So I've been struggling just a little bit. All right, we're gonna add a couple of these awesome little shapes, and I chose to use the Starry Sky ones. But again, you could use any color that you wanted on them. Oh, gotta add our sentiment. So for that, I used the paper. And this time, again, you can cut it whichever way you want. You can see this one I cut the other way. I like to do that to you guys and give you different things to see how it looks so you can kind of have an idea. And then we're just going to adhere our Sending Good Vibes on that. And then that will go on with some dimensionals as well. Let me move all that junk out of the way. So let me bring this up. So Sending Good Vibes. And go right on there like that. And then we're going to add a couple dimensionals to that. And voila. we have our second card done. There we go. Sending good thoughts your way. So I'm curious to know if anybody has any big plans scheduled for the weekend. You know, it's Labor Day weekend, so a lot of us here in the U.S. have Monday off, so a long weekend. So put it in the comments and let me know what you guys are doing. What I'm doing is I'm actually going to be going to the Thumb to visit my mom. And I'm taking with me some tomatoes. One of my really good friends at work has a surplus of tomatoes, and she's giving me some tomatoes. And we're going to be making some sloppy Joe sauce and canning it. So I need to have my mom help me because I'm not good at canning on my own. I've only ever done it with her. So I'm going to take good notes and write things down because I cannot live without this sloppy Joe sauce. It is the bomb, and it's better than any stuff you can get in the store, or better than even, like, you know, I don't know. It's the best. I love it. So that's what I'm going to be doing for a couple days, going to see my mom. So I'm excited for that. Oh, Philomena, your nephew is getting married. How exciting. And Courtney, game night with you. Aw, game nights are fun. So I think it might just be Claire and I going because Natalie has a hair appointment on Saturday that she made a while ago and went to reschedule it today and can't get in for like 4 to 6 weeks later. And so she's like, Mom, I can't wait that long. So, and I'm only looking at, I think, leaving tomorrow sometime and coming back on Sunday. So that way I still have Monday to get things done. I have Monday, I want to have it be a design day and get some things designed that I can share with all of you. So gotta have a day to create. All right, this is my next card. What do you guys think? Woohoo, you're my bestie. All right, now again, you wouldn't have to use the You're My Bestie. You could use something different other than this one. Now, this one I showcase the dies. So this is, remember when I showed you the one that you can cut out the solid and then you can cut out the overlays? That's what this is. So this is not stamped. This is just designer series paper and with the overlay on top. So again, you're kind of seeing it this way purposely to show you that you don't need to get the stamp set if you don't want to. You could easily, yes, I will share that with you, Shelby. It is the bomb. Oh, it's so good. And we freeze it in pints, and the pint is good for about like 1 pound of hamburger. So it's a perfect amount for a meal. So it works out really, really good. Oh, look at Carol's already working on it. Yeah, this has to cook for a while too. So, all right. So for this card, I used some of the new dies in our annual catalog that are called the deckled rectangles. If you have not used the deckled rectangles yet, you have got to get them. So the deckled rectangles give you this awesome little rigid edge around the rectangles. And look at the look it makes this card. It gives this card a complete different look. These are all different layers of the deckled rectangles, and it just makes the card pop. So I really encourage you to get the deckled rectangles on one of your upcoming orders if you haven't yet, because they are pretty cool. Hi, Sandy. I just saw Sandy pop on. Oh, and I see Terry shared it. So we got Terry on. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Okay. Some of those comments, I think, get away on me. All right. So we're going to add some of that ribbon around here. And again, you can see that my, I had that upside down. My paper is different than the sample. Again, because why not? Change it up, right? Oh, that's a good suggestion, Carol, to put it in the crock pot. So yeah, this sloppy Joe sauce that we make has to cook for like, I don't know, quite a while. But it is really, really good. I grew up on it. And my mom made some last year and shared it. Like she made like 2 batches and we all got like 3 or 4 jars. When I say we, my mom, or my mom kept some, my sister and I, and my brother. And but I want more than 3 or 4 jars. Like I want more of it. So that's when my friend Heather said, if I gave you tomatoes, would you use them for anything? And right away, my sloppy Joe sauce that I grew up on came to mind. And so I instantly said, Mom, would you be able to help me with that one weekend? And she's like, absolutely. Anyways, that's kind of how it came about. Welcome to Denise from Colorado. Thank you for joining me tonight. Okay, so I forgot to put this on, so we're going to add that on underneath real quick. Now that I put on with some dimensionals. So it'll just go underneath, and then we'll tie on that little piece of ribbon. So I'm just going to add dimensionals to the 4 corners of this here. And then we're going to add this one down to it. Okay. So we're just going to add this underneath here. I can still get it in there like that. Perfect. All right, there we go. Get the little dimensional backings out of the way. And then we're going to build our butterfly. All right, so again, these are just the dies. So you have, let me make sure I get the right piece. So you have this one that coordinates with this one, okay? And then you have this one that will coordinate with this one. Super cool, right? And then you just lay them down and then you add your body to it. So I am just going to add a little bit, for purposes of time, I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive into the middle of that. And then I'm going to adhere this down like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this. Now you could also use your fine tip glue pen. You could also use your Tombow glue. So there are options here for you to use something different if you wanted to. And then we're just going to adhere this one right down. And again, it's going to line up perfectly. So then these I put on with some dimensionals. So I'm going to add a dimensional to each. When I was making my samples, my daughter Claire thought that looked like a bra. She goes, why are you putting bra on the card? I had to turn it over to show her that, that it was a butterfly. And then I chuckled at her because that, you know, was kind of cute. But she came down right at the right time when she saw them. So as I'm making this for all of you, that was just a memory that came popping back up. All right, so this is just going to go up here like that. And then we're going to do the bottom down here like that. And then the body, so this is just the body using the die. So, and the body, I'm just going to adhere right down the center here like this. Look how pretty that is. Quick and simple. And again, just with dies. So if you're not, you know, I think a lot of people look at the stamp set and go, oh, I don't know if I like that because of the greetings. Overlook the greetings or overlook the stamp set altogether. And then you can just use the dies, which is what I've been using so far for you all tonight. All right, now we're going to add You're My Bestie onto here. Now the You're My Bestie is from the Best Butterfly stamp set. So like I said, all of my cards do use these sentiments, but you do not have to use those sentiments. And this shape, I looked it up and now I forget which shape it's in. It's in the, it is in some of the annual catalog. I think it might be the stylish shapes that maybe these are in. Maybe I'm wrong. So if any of you know for sure, I looked it up last week when I was prepping for this so that I would know. Yeah, you think I wrote it down? True Kim style? I did not. But anyway, it is in the annual catalog, and I can look it up for anybody who might be interested in that shape and get it for you. I just don't know it off the top of my head. And then we're just going to put this little piece of ribbon underneath here like that, and we're going to tie this one on. And then you can see I did add the little gems, and I added the little flowers, and I added the Calypso Coral ones to this card. So I like to kind of mix it up and use all the colors. Otherwise, you're stuck with like a bunch. If I use all of one color, then you're stuck with a bunch of them left over. So I like to mix and match when I design my classes, so that way they all get used up. And so for this one, I used some of the Calypso Coral ones. And you could add more than two if you wanted to. I'll add a third one up here like that. Just adds a little bit of pizzazz to the card. But isn't that cute? So Sandy, these cards are one of my classes that you'll be getting this month. So anyway, as you're looking at these, you're going to go, oh, I like them. Yep, they're one of my classes. Okay, so there is, oh, and I forgot that I put a little green one down here on the bottom. So there you have it. All right, so there's that third card. So my next card, I think, gravitated to this color scheme because I did this color scheme in my very first card. So this one showcases, my last card does showcase where I stamped, okay? But this one showcases the designer series paper that I cut out a butterfly to make as my embellishment for the card. So this is just designer series paper. All of the butterflies are a little bit different. So this one's going to look a little bit different, but I'm going to start by fussy cutting out my butterfly. So again, all you need is the dies, the paper, and a little bit of the cardstock colors. And you don't need to get them all. You can just get 2 or 3. And you'd be able to design every single one of these cards that I have showcased so far. Okay, that's the joy of why I like to show you guys without the stamp set, because you don't necessarily need the stamp set to design the cards. You can just use the dies and the paper. And of course, those cute little resin flowers. Okay, So I'm just going to fussy cut this. And I know Sandy's still watching. I'm sure she's saying, Kim, you know I don't like to fussy cut. Same with Patty, if Patty is still watching. I have a couple customers that I know who definitely don't like to fussy cut. I don't mind it. Goes pretty fast. Okay. So there you have the cute little butterfly. So I wanted to cut that out first, so that way we're ready to assemble the card. So for this, I chose to use fresh freesia for the card base again. And you can see I kind of gravitated towards that, that paper again, the paper color combination with the fresh freesia and the, the fresh freesia and the Calypso Coral. So I'm going to go ahead and add the Calypso Coral piece onto this. Yeah, because I think I added the ribbon. Where did I add the ribbon? Oh, I'm going to actually layer first because I did. Oh, beautiful shapes, dies. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to actually layer this one together first. And because of the way I did this, I'm just going to add, you don't need to add designer series paper all the way down. So I didn't need to do a whole 5 1/4 by 4 or a 5 by 3 3/4. I just used little pieces to put down here like this. And I'm just going to kind of have it show where it's just 1/4 inch because I'm going to be layering this together and this is going to be going right across the center. Okay, so little tips and tricks. If you don't want to have, you know, if you don't have a lot of designer paper or you want to use it sparingly, this is a neat little trick. Okay, a little tip. So I'm just going to adhere this one down to the bottom with about 1/4 inch on it. Oh, they'll be okay. They'll be okay with that. Beth, I'm chuckling at you that the team swaps have a lot of cutting. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Okay. And then we're going to adhere these two together. If they're not, they'll bring it to me and ask me to help them. That's funny, but true. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this one down to here. And this goes all the way to the end. Okay, so this one I did go all the way to the end. So it doesn't have, you can see it doesn't have the little border around it. It's going to have it's going to look like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere this one down. And then we're going to add some ribbon around this piece. But ta-da, look how awesome that looks. And you can't even tell, right? You can't even tell that oh, you did all the cutting for them? Oh, they're going to love you. They are going to love you. Okay, so then I added the ribbon around this one. So again, just right around the center. And again, you could color it if you wanted to make it pop. That is the neat thing with this ribbon. As Courtney mentioned earlier, you can cut it or color it. We were talking cut, so I said cut. All right, and then we're going to adhere this card layer down to the card base. All right, so we're just going to layer this down. Oh, I love that, a cute little emoji. Hi, Marilyn. All right, then with layering circles, I cut out some circles, right? We got to have something to pop up our butterfly on. I almost said ladybug. Ugh. Hope I can get through the rest now without thinking ladybugs. I did ladybugs earlier in the year, but not tonight, right? Okay, and then we're just going to adhere these down. I'm going to use 3 of them. And that's going to go down right here. And then you can either put that down just plain. I'm going to do dimensionals again because I like the depth. So I'm just going to do 3 of them here on this one. And whoops, put that up there like that. And then I did on a circle, one of my layering circles, it says all the love. Isn't that cute? And that's going to go on with a couple dimensionals as well. This I stamped in the Starry Sky, and I love how bright and vivid that looks. So pretty. And then the final thing I did was topped it off with some of our little flowers again. So I'm going to put one there, and then I'm going to put a big one. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to put a big one here. You can see I added a couple to the butterfly down here, but I have quite a few big ones left. So I'm just going to use some big ones on it. And there you go. Oh, we got to add the little ribbon through that. Forgot about that. Forgot. But aren't they cute? Once you kind of get playing with it, it's really cute. And the possibilities are endless. You can make these butterflies any color that you want. I mean, really, they're just so versatile. Now the last card I'm going to be sharing with you after I tie this ribbon on, I did do the stamping with the stamp set, and then cut the pieces out with the die. But you can see, whoops, that the images or the stamped pieces match the designer series paper, so you really wouldn't need the stamp set. You can just cut out the paper and get the same effect. But let me show you my last one. And like I said, this one is indeed stamped. Okay, so I stamped using, I believe it was, I used crushed curry, and then I used Calypso Coral, and so these are stamped and then cut out. Okay, the orange, so Peggy, the orange colored paper is called Calypso Coral, and it's really, really pretty. So that's what it's called, and that's the ink, what the ink color is right here as well, Calypso Coral. Okay. All right, so for this one, I used the card base of Starry Sky, and I used the really pretty piece of paper on this. This beautiful, I love that, so pretty. It's got all the colors in there, and it's got your diagonal stripes. It just makes this card pop, I think. Now I am going to add some ribbon around there. Okay, so let me add a little bit of ribbon to that. So we're going to add a little bit of adhesive on there. And on this one, I added the ribbon around here twice. So we're just going to start here. We're going to wrap the ribbon. We're going to come around. We're going to make sure we adhere it again there. And then I'm going to go around one more time and just kind of offset this just a little bit so you can kind of see that I've got it around there twice. So let me just make sure I offset it just a smudge it, like that word? Okay, and then we're just gonna cut that off. And now I'm gonna smidge, I'm telling you, I can't English. That's what my daughters tell me sometimes. Mom, you just can't English. I'm like, no, I guess I can't. Sometimes I can't. Okay. And then we're going to adhere this down to the card base like that. Isn't it pretty paper? I agree, Shelby, it's really pretty paper. All right, so on this one, I stamped all the love on the bottom to have room for me to layer some of my my butterfly. These dies right here that I used to do this is called the Stylish, okay, I gotta say it slow, Stylish Shapes dies. I had to say it slow because it's hard for me to say it. But you get stitched circles and some squares. I mean, just awesome. I agree, Denise. They do. They're just bright and bold. And I'm not quite ready to give up on summer just yet. Not till after this weekend. So that's why I'm like, I've got to give it one more shot on my Facebook Live with doing summer-themed cards. Because, you really can't do them after I feel anyway, after Labor Day is when I really start getting into my fall mode, and I'm not a big pumpkin spice person, but I do like apple cinnamon stuff in the fall, so it's when I really start getting into that kind of mode. All right, so this we're going to go ahead then, and let me get that darn backing out of here, and then we're going to put this down here a little bit at an angle like this, and then we're going to put our butterfly on. So, and again, just to save time, I do my stamping and stuff off camera, so I don't have to have my big shot over here, but most of you know how to do that. You just stamp on basic white cardstock, and then you put your die on top of it, run it through your Stamp and Boss die cut machine, or whatever kind of a cutting machine you have to cut out the pieces. And so I'm going to add a couple dimensionals to each of them. And then we're just going to layer our butterfly. So I'm going to start with the bottom part of the butterfly, which is this color. That is the crushed curry. And then I'm going to add on my top part of the butterfly. That is the Calypso Coral. And then I stamped the body of the butterfly using Starry Sky. And again, you don't have to, I stamped it and cut it out, but you could just use cardstock like I did in the previous card that I showed you. And then this is just going to go across here like that. So we're just going to add adhesive to the body of this. And it's just going to go right across this part right there. And then I topped it off with some of these. Now, because this card has all those colors into it, oh, caramel too. Yeah, boy, Courtney, you and I would get along just fine in the fall. Well, I think we get along well anytime, but you know what I mean. I'm going to add some yellow ones to this because all of the colors are here, and I've got quite a few yellow. I've got quite a few green. I'm just going to pick on the yellow ones for this one. And I'm just going to put a couple on there. Yeah, where else do I want to put one? Let's see. We'll add a third one down here. So there you have it. Oh, and then on for my bow. So I just tied, this one was tied on underneath twice. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to cut it off and make it into two. So I'm just going to cut it here and then I'm going to cut it here. Okay. And I'm just going to put these two underneath there at the same time, if I can do it, because sometimes they don't like to cooperate. But I'm going to put them both underneath here together, and I'm just going to tie it on like I do normally, but I'm just using two instead of one, right? Yeah, you're right, Shelby. It is, but the weather doesn't tell us that. Man, it's starting to get chilly out already. All right, and then you're just going to separate these a little bit, and you can trim those off if you want to. Whoops, my ribbon's a mess. So I guess my brain just kind of gets into that mode once the kids go back to school and all of that kind of thing. So, all right, what did you guys think? Did you like everything I shared? It is 7:55. Most of you know I like to be done on my lives by 8 o'clock to give you guys back your night. So let me show you all of them that we made again tonight. I'm going to bring them all back in so you guys can see them. So we did this one. We did this one. Let me get that out of the way. And this one, aren't they gorgeous? So bright and cheery. And again, screams summer as we're ending down. Well, actually, as Shelby said, we have until the 20th, right, of September. So these are all the cards that I've created with you tonight. Now, again, this will be a class that I will be offering to my club members. If you would like more information about my club, please let me know and I'll send you a link to provide you with all of the details. But my club is an 8-month commitment where you get to pick one of my classes a month for free. And all you have to do is put in a minimum $30 order. Okay. So it's a wonderful way for you to get classes and product, or cards and product at the same time. At the end of your 8 months, you get a $50 product credit that you can use on anything that you'd like to use. And then you have the option to join again and do another 8 months and another 8 months and another 8 months. Anyway, you get the picture. So anyway, that is your cards that I'm featuring here for you tonight. Again, anybody who is interested in just putting in an order to receive 3 of these cards tonight, they'd be already done. They'd be ones you see right here already completed. You can just go on over to my website at kimsbasementbunch.com and enter in this host code. That host code is also posted on my website as of about 3 o'clock today. So you'd be able to have that as well. So anyway, oh, Courtney, yes, I would love to have an apple cobbler crock pot recipe. Woohoo, I love those crock pot recipes. All right, so thank you all so very much for joining me tonight. I hope that you've enjoyed my end of summer presentation as at least my brain transitions into fall to share some fall projects with you next week. All right. So I look forward to seeing you all back here. I'll be live with you again next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern time right here. And I will see you all then. Have a great weekend. Be safe, have fun, enjoy family, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.